Let's talk about the psychological demands of pitching and how to build resilience. Pitching is not just strategic, it's deeply psychological. So let's go through and explore the key demands that you're going to face and how to navigate them. First, emotional exposure. Pitching is vulnerable because it is personal. So, what's happening? You're pitching about something that you really care about. Maybe you're in a biotech company, you've developed a treatment for juvenile arthritis, and that just happens to be what your own kid is suffering from. Investors start asking you about your business model. They're not but it's not just that. They're probing your story, your passion behind it. You start to think, what if I overshare? What if they think I'm not credible? What if I get too emotional? Your path through that is to ground yourself in the why. Why are you doing this? Breathe through your emotions, rehearse it with a trusted mentor. Um, Ask yourself, what part of my story feels risky to share, but important? Another thing is adaptability under fire. Things are going to go off script. This will be an emotional demand for you. What's happening? You get interrupted, somebody challenges you in the middle of your pitch, and you start to be, I don't believe me, I'm messing this up. Maybe something's not working with your slides. I need to defend myself. I need to, you get all those feelings start to come up. Your path through is to pause, acknowledge what they've said, answer with a sense of calm authority, be adaptable under whatever circumstances. Your reflection question is to ask yourself, how can I practice staying steady when challenged? The other problem or foundational issue you might face is this idea of clarity and complexity. Simplicity and achieving simplicity is actually harder than it looks, especially if you've got a 20-minute presentation, you've been asked to do it in 2 minutes. How do you get there? Your instinct, especially for a lot of technical founders, is to start to over explain or talk technical. Even if your mentors are telling you to be simple, you just really have this desire. No, it's really interesting stuff. I need to talk about it. If I cut the details, I'm going to not seem credible. Like, oh, worked really hard on this. The more data is the more bigger impact, right? So your path through that and your emotional step you have to make is let go of the safety blanket of details. Focus on what the investors need, not on what you want. So your reflection question is, how can I shift my focus from what excites me to what investors care about? Another emotional foundation is you're going to be managing a lot of rejection and ambiguity. So remember that no is not a failure. What happens? You do a great pitch, you think everything's going well, and then silence from investors. And you start to do some of that negative self talk. I blew it. They hated it. Why do I bother? You have to be able to manage that. So detach your self-worth from the outcome. No's are going to happen. Every pitch is practice. You're going to just follow up, move forward, not worry too much about it. Keep going. So after a pitch like that, ask, what can I take away from this, even if I don't have a yes? Another one is you're going to be performing under pressure. This is not about being slick, it's about being steady. So you're in the middle of a presentation and suddenly you think to yourself, I'm rushing, my nerves are creeping in. Maybe you've got some sort of nervous habit that happens and you're suddenly very aware of it in the middle of a presentation. They can tell I'm nervous, I've lost them, I'm not a good speaker. Your path through this, if you notice yourself doing something like that, pause, breathe, stay connected to the people you're talking to your audience, your group, your investor pitch people. Stay connected to them. It's not about that personal perfect delivery. It's about maintaining that personal connection through this presentation. Ask yourself, what helps me feel grounded before I enter the room? So maybe we're back to thinking about the why am I here? Maybe it's just a breathing exercise. Maybe it's just remembering, yeah, I do know what I'm talking about here. Just maintain that presence throughout your presentation. The final one is navigating identity pressure. So this is a bigger and deeper psychological things that comes up, is that you are not your pitch, even though it sometimes feels that way. When you've put your whole heart and soul into something, maybe an investor questions your vision. They think a competitor would do it way better than you're doing. They don't like your approach. They don't like something very core about what they're challenging, something that really means a lot to you. You put a whole lot of time and effort into this. You start to feel defensiveness about your very identity as a business person, as a startup founder. And then you get defensive, like, they don't get it. Like, I have to prove them wrong. I've got to, they say something negative and I got to talk to them about it a week later because I know I'm right. This feels personal to me. It's not going to work. Your path through that is to separate yourself from your idea. Listen without ego. True confidence is about staying open to that critique that's coming, while holding on to your vision and your conviction, but be open to hearing what they have to say and not let it shake you so much. So, your reflection question here is, how can I stay open to feedback without losing belief in myself? So those are some psychological foundations. If this is important stuff, it don't let it. I get it. I've been there with myself and with many of my clients and students. Don't let it get in the way of your success and moving forward. Any of this stuff. So if any of this has triggered something for you, or you want to talk about it, or kind of work through something with the live coach, just reach out for help from your startup pitch coach. Thank you.